Another fucking Pokemon video. Hey, let's go. This one is actually a very unscripted kind of video because I have a lot on my mind. I just kind of there aren't gonna be very many jokes, and there's probably gonna be quite a lot of stutters because that's just how I talk normally. Um, I I'm probably gonna talk it a bit too fast because that's just kind of how we work without actually scripting anything. And there's gonna be like left jokes, and it's just gonna be a whole thing. But I have so much on my mind about just Pokemon in general because I've been with the series for ages, and there's a lot I want to talk about. Mainly because it's gonna by the time this releases, it's probably gonna be Sword and Shield is probably gonna come out, and I kind of have a lot of things to say, which I've kind of been keeping to myself. But I've been waiting for like reviews on Sword and Shield, and also kind of like uh what I want from the series and what I want from the developers. That kind of because everyone fucking wants something from the developers. I'll tell you that much. Fucking Game Freak. Okay, let's tackle the first thing, right? Dexit. Fucking Dexit. The national Dex. Everyone fucking knows by now is that Sword and Shield is not gonna have every Pokemon, at least not at launch, and we're not sure if it's gonna get updated. But at least for right now, they're not gonna have every Pokemon from the entire series. Which is very upsetting. I it wasn't like too big of an impact to me personally, but I can tell kind of like why the community was very uh not it didn't get a very well a response. Especially because they just came out in like on Nintendo Direct. Everyone was like praising Sword and Shield. I mean, there were some complaints because Pokemon, and you got those people that are like, Pokemon doesn't have good service, which we're gonna get to soon. Um, but when that kind of just dropped, like out of nowhere, they were just like, "Oh, Pokemon's not gonna have all of them," and they just kept playing the fucking game. The entire Twitch chat just like went fucking insane, and I know because I was fucking there, because they were having like a Treehouse live, whatever the fuck, for Pokemon, and I was there, and as soon as they said that, the entire Twitch chat just went insane, and I went, "Holy shit!" So Dexit is a big deal. Oh boy, I don't even know where to fucking start. So not every Pokemon is gonna show up, and we don't exactly know what Pokemon are and aren't gonna show up. Although we've gotten like a few leaks on it, National Dex, or sorry, not National Dex, but just Dex in general in Pokemon, and also like the starter evolutions and that kind of thing. I don't know how substantial it's gonna be the Dex hit, and I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be for the Pokemon that like no one uses. It would really suck if like things like if Pokemon like Mareep just kind of went out of like wasn't in the Dex just because fucking Wooloo comes in out of nowhere. Poor fucking Mareep. Wooloo just like spotlighted the shit out of him. Anyway, um, oh boy. Okay, so Dex had kind of like trashed the game right from the get go. Everyone was like, "It's gonna be a horror game, whatever, whatever." And Game Freak responded with saying, "Oh, we're doing this for like quality animations and that kind of thing." And I can kind of see where you're coming from that, like from the beginning, but then kind of you've been using animations since like the 3DS age. Like that shouldn't be a fucking problem. Like there's a great fucking video. There's a channel actually called New Frame Plus. And along with Game Maker's Toolkit, they are fucking amazing at talking about video games and like the art of them basically. And New Frame Plus actually made like a 20-25 minute video on Pokemon battle animation before even like Sword and Shield even had the news, I'm pretty sure. And everything about it is just pristine. Just go watch the fucking video. It is amazing. But please watch this one first because I need the viewer count. um, but since the 3DS era, like you should have saved. You have saved actually those like animations and those models to use in future games, including the Switch. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you use those same models. You might have touched them up a little bit to like fit the art style. Like for example, Let's Go was very like cell shaded, while Sword and Shield it's gonna be a bit more. I think kind of anime-ized is kind of like the word I'm looking for. I guess it's a lot less cell shaded. I guess, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not entirely sure. Whatever. It's got a slightly different art style, so I can kind of get where that's coming from. But you're still using the same models. You're still using the same amount of polygons. There was actually another video I saw of a Vaporeon, and it was like a Vaporeon of the 3DS and a Vaporeon of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. and they were exactly the same poly count, exactly the same like size and model and everything. Fucking the same exact thing. Game Freak, you don't have the excuse to like have different models to say that you're making different models, because that's not fucking true. Quality animations, you've been using the same damn animations ever since not even the 3DS age, but the fucking like 2DS age, the fucking Game Boy, the fucking Game Boy. When you're Game Boy Advanced, yeah, actually, I don't even know if the Game Boy, because the Game Boy was just like a bunch of sprites. But the Game Boy Advance, like, you have come up with different ways in order for each Pokemon to have different animations for their attacks. Like, you come up with some crazy shit, like how in the Game Boy age, like Pokemon Red and Blue and that kind of thing. Um, you made it so the sprites for the battle animations are actually the things that move and not the actual Pokemon themselves, and that's fucking mind blowing. That's amazing. And then as you continued on, like Gen 6 with X and Y and so on, you kind of made it. You kind of made it so you made new battle animations, obviously, because it's the 3DS stuff. So it's all 3D, but then and then you reuse it for all kinds of different Pokemon. Like for example, say Flamethrower, right? Like Vulpix has Flamethrower, so does Fennekin, and they're exactly the same thing. The animation on the Pokemon itself is a bit different, but they're all default animations. Um like Fire Blast is like Fennekin or not Fennekin, but Brixen in X and Y has like a specific Fire Blast kind of animation for just her that kind of like sees it. I'm pretty sure anyway. Um and Ember as well, like Ember, where she like picks up her staff from her tail and then throws it, and that's fucking epic. Like I literally only use Ember not just because it was really fucking overpowered, but also because I just really like seeing the animation because it actually looked good, and I'm pretty sure that was specific to that. And then Vulpix has like a fire blasting, but it's just like her opening her mouth and like leaning in a little, and then the fire blast thing comes out, which I mean is serviceable, but it's just a little bit lazy. I'm not gonna lie, because we've been doing this for fucking years. What the hell are you doing? Because we all know you're not making a good fucking story, that's for sure. And because you've like reused the same shit. Like, oh, like the power's down, and you need to regenerate this, or a lot of like and they'll have like different motivations and characters and character models and that kind of thing. But a lot of the team people, like Team Rocket and Team Skull and Team Flare and that kind of thing, they all have kind of like a very similar premise, not the exact same premise, um but they're all very similar, so you're not really working on the story. What the fuck are you working on? Because it's not really the Pokemon, at least not their models, at least not their animations, because you've been using the same shit, so you don't really have that excuse. You can't just say, oh, we're making better quality animations, especially because you're actually not. We've seen the fucking trailers. We've seen, like, Score Bunny's kick, and it's just, like, him bouncing, which, again, serviceable. I'm totally okay with it. But when you say that you're making better animations, that's kind of where I go, well, but you're not. But you're not. You're just reusing the same animations, which good on you. But then when you're using the same animations, you have to think, well, what can we improve on? What can we do instead to fix some issues in our franchise and make them better, right? If the story is lacking, which it is, if the story is lacking, then you have to focus on the story, focus on the writing. If you can't focus on the fucking animations, focus on the writing of the actual game. Focus on the story. Focus on more fucking Pokemon. More fucking Pokemon. That's another thing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But whenever a new Pokemon game comes out, there's like maybe 10 more Pokemon, right? And it's all cool and all, and you get like a whole like new party of Pokemon to fucking run around with. But plus the starters, obviously. But and exclusive. I feel like that's not really enough. Here's what I want from Pokemon, okay? Don't come out, Game Freak, don't come out with a new Pokemon game every fucking year or two. Every fucking year, new Pokemon game. Which, I fucking ate that shit up. I'm a Pokemon nerd. Like, I will I will buy every fucking game because that's just who I am. And that's another thing about Game Freak and about Nintendo in general. And I know they're two different things, but still, is that no matter how shit they are, people are still gonna eat that shit up. They're still gonna buy the games because it's their favorite franchise or it's their favorite company or whatever. Like, everyone was a bit hesitant on the Switch, and they're like, and even though it still has drift, people are still gonna buy the Switch. Uh, DougDoug, I can't remember his name. The guy who like does explain with food shit, which by the way, amazing. Like, I wish I came up with that premise. Um, he made a whole video about Mario Party, and there was this one joke he did. He said, like, how are we supposed to like show our skill if we're gonna if it's gonna be random anyway, something like that. I can't remember like the thing, but I remember the punchline. It's like, well, you're gonna keep buying my games anyway, so I don't really care. And that just hit so fucking hard. And for Game Freak, it's exactly the same thing. They're like, Pokemon is a $1 billion franchise. It is literally the biggest franchise in the entire fucking world. Not just Japan, not just the US, the entire fucking planet. So there's funding. There is fucking funding. Not to mention like Pokemon Go and shit like that. And Pokemon Masters wasn't that great, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it was okay, but when you have all this fucking funding, what are you putting it into? Is it rushing out games? What the fuck? Animal Crossing New Dawn for the Switch had to be canceled because fuck. And I'm going fucking ballistic. I'm going insane. I'm not even that mad. I have a lot to talk about. Animal Crossing New Dawn for the Switch had to be I was almost gonna say canceled. Oh dear God, no. It had to be delayed for like so it wouldn't be rushed. So it's a pristine, perfect game, and all the workers, all the game developers in there, like they're very calm and they can get the work done. But Game Freak is like, fuck that. We want to get a new Pokemon game, so then we get more money. More fucking money. More money. It's like that fucking meme with that one business guy. Money. Ugh. And, like, I know that, because Pokemon is such a beloved franchise. I know that there's people in Game Freak who love Pokemon, who think, I'm gonna make the best Pokemon game. And I know, because I would be one of those people. But Game Freak is a little bit toxic. Because they're just coming out with games left and right, and they're not improving anything, and they're fucking lying to the consumer. It's also the other thing, like, okay, so with the Sword and Shield, this is something I like about Sword and Shield, is that they're basically, like, implementing a new way of, like, in wild areas to kind of make them a bit more expansive to I just fucking clicked out of my notes. To make them a bit more expansive and, make it so to make it more like Breath of the Wildy, I guess. But and of course, I haven't gone my hands to the game because it's not fucking out until tomorrow. But from reviews and shit like that, it's not like that. If it's still very limited, it's still very constricted. I think I just hit my fucking mic. I'm sorry about that. It's supposed to be like very Breath of the Wildy, I guess. But there's still like a lot of limitations. It's still kind of a very constricted area, and although it's kind of expansive and way better than like what Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did, I wouldn't get like lost, but I would be confused on where I went just because it was kind of weird. Something I would love, what a lot of people speculated for future Pokemon games is have like branching areas. Like there's this one guy, I can't remember, on YouTube who made a video about making a new Pokemon game, and it was like 3 different kinds. There was like the leaf type, the fire type, and the water type. Whichever one you got like starter, and you started in like a different place, and you had 2 other rivals. That was fucking amazing idea. He has more ideas. He has more expansive ideas than the entirety of fucking Game Freak. And Game Freak, you have the ability, and you used to have the reputation. Like, you can basically make a game as good as Rockstar's. You can basically make the next Red Dead Redemption 2. You have the money. Or at least I assume you do. Because otherwise, where's that money going to? I mean, the Pokemon Company, I guess, but then the Pokemon, you can just say, Game Freak can just say, hey, Pokemon Company, look, We want to make the next big fucking Pokemon game, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be like more Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be more Pokemon, obviously. It's gonna be on the Switch. It's gonna be the first Pokemon game on console, and not handheld. And we don't talk about Pikachu and Eevee. Fucking Gen 1 remakes. It's gonna be the first official Gen 8 Pokemon game that's gonna be on the console. But we want to make it better in some way. We want to improve on it. We want to be ambitious. It is a fucking console. Everyone is hyped for it. There's memes everywhere. This is probably the most hype a fucking Pokemon game has ever fucking gotten. Like, it's all over. There's memes everywhere. Oh, but they don't. At least they try, and the Pokemon company just rejects them. It's getting fucking hot in here. Heated topics. Fuck, I can't even speak. It's just, where's that money going to, Game Freak? And what are you doing with it? Why aren't you trying something new? You're trying something new with like making it more open world, but it's not even open world. And from the reviews, like Game Explained, they said like, oh, the cities they look more expansive, like there's buildings in the background and things like that. But it's just like a fluke. They're not that big. It's not like Lumio City. And by the way, because if you don't know, you should. You fucking should. But if you don't know, my favorite like Pokemon game in the world is X and Y. I don't care what anyone says. I just fucking love X and Y. I love like the expansiveness of it. I love the main characters, Serena, not Caleb. I love Fennekin. She is literally one of my favorite fucking starter Pokemon. Totally not biased because I love Fennec Foxes like in real life. X and Y will always hold a special place in my heart. Which, by the way, I'm actually thinking of doing like a Nuzlocke thing for it, so looking forward to that. Shameless plug-in, just like Game Freak. X and Y is always gonna hold a special place in my heart, and so I know Lumio City like the back of my fucking hand, and even though there was like a lot of loading screens, which only took like 2 seconds really, so it wasn't even a big deal, but even though there were like a lot of loading screens, like it felt really fucking big. Even if it, like, most of it was locked out because of, like, the power outage, and again, if there's that generator thing with the Pokemon story, even though I love X and Y, the Pokemon story isn't really the greatest, especially with Team Flare being kind of shitty, even though I love Team Flare's, well, Flare, their arc isn't really that great. I also, they just right out fucking kill people by, like, blowing up a hole in a village. Anyway, jeez. But yeah, when it's in Lumio City, that was, fuck, let me look that up right now. When was Pokemon X and Y release date? October 12th, 2013. So, that was 6 years ago. That was 6 years ago, and Lumio City was the fucking biggest thing. By this point, Game Freak, you should make Lumio City with no loading screens, and with more detail, and with, like, one of the fucking things I love about X and Y was, like, where you would go into an alleyway, and then you would encounter a trainer, and then you just battled, and they were like a fucking ruffian or some shit. That was amazing. More of those. Like, I think it was like a one-time thing. I don't know, because I never encountered them again. But more of those, because random encounters in Pokemon games would be fucking amazing. That's another thing. That again, I don't know for a fact because I haven't played the game, obviously. But I heard from a lot of reviews is that there's a lack of Pokemon trainers to fight, to battle against, and that kind of irks me. Because my favorite part about Pokemon is Pokemon battling. There's two things: Pokemon battling and like playing with your Pokemon, right? And that's why I'm actually really excited for the 10th thing. Except in reviews, I heard you can play with it with like 2 toys with them, which is like, okay, fuck. Fucking X and Y had more capabilities with letting you pet them, letting you feed them, which actually like increased their, I guess, love for you, their affection for you. Which gave them basically like they made them god. Let's be honest, they were fucking overpowered. But anyway, increase your affection for them, and increase your happiness. There was a fucking happiness meter, which I swear to God, for all my favorite Pokemon, I like increased the shit out of in Pokemon Ami. God, I want Pokemon Ami back. And you could like play games with them, they're like little mini games, so like where you could give them like cherries and shit like that. I spent fucking hours on those mini games grinding away for Pokepuffs. um, and now you can just play with them with 2 toys. Oh, and make curry, and that's it. And that's fun, but like, come on. And you can like go to other people's tents like online. Cool. What's the point in it? And maybe there is, but the game's not out yet. Maybe there is a point to seeing other people's Pokemon tents. But is there really? Is there? Because I have a feeling it's not. I feel like you're just gonna like throw a ball and a catnip kind of thing at a Pokemon, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, that's amazing. It's better than nothing, but come on, there's gotta be more. Why do I feel like everything is so limited in Sword and Shield? The game's not even out yet, and I feel so limited by it. The fucking Pokemon Ami wannabe is limited with its amount of toys and interactivity, I'm assuming. I mean, Pokemon Ami in the 3DS era wasn't amazing either. It was good. It was serviceable at the time, but you're on the Switch. You're on a console now, and it's been 6 years and you haven't done a fucking thing. And with like Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, you had Pokemon Ami, sure, for Eevee. And all you could do was pet her and fed her berries. And it was cute. And still went back to it sometimes, but it was nothing. It was nothing. I barely went to it. And I am pretty sure that in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, no matter what you did, like in the Pokemon Ami wannabe, play with Eevee, Pikachu, whatever, like you still get the affection boost. Like you still get like, oh, it took away paralysis because it didn't want to worry you. I swear to God, I have not pet Eevee in fucking like hours of playtime, and I still get those, and it's like, okay, weird. And I still get those consistently too, to the point where I kind of think, I'm not gonna waste like a paralyzed thing on her just because she's paralyzed, because she's just gonna affection the fuck out of it, and that's it, and then it's over. And another thing is, holy shit, it's been 23 minutes. I've been talking a lot. This is just from, like, Dexit. I'm just going on a fucking tangent. This is the new Nerd Nostalgia Goes on a Tangent. I should do this more often. This is fun. Anyway, fuck, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, another thing is, like, the other Pokemon in your party would have affection boosts as well. I don't know how that shit worked, because there's no Pokemon Army for them. And then so anyway, and Pokemon battles, apparently they're limited. Apparently there's not a lot of trainers in them, which worries me, because Pokemon battling was one of my favorite things, because I mean, I didn't like how repetitive they are. Like in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, I did not like going through the Silphco building and just grinding away at all the fucking Team Rocket people, because I wanted to beat all of them, and there were just so many of them. Like, it literally took me 2 days, because I would take a break one day, and like I would do half of it one day, beat the main thing, like get the Master Ball and everything, and then the other half, day 2, I would actually like go back and grind away at all the other Team Rocket people. And so, and again, I don't know, but in reviews, I heard that like there isn't a lot of trainers to battle. Like, it feels very constricted, so that's great. One of the things I do like about Sword and Shield is that okay, this actually leads on to my next topic: catching Pokemon. Pokemon Go has fucking ruined the franchise. All right, it has fucking ruined it. I honest to God thought that when Eevee and Pikachu came out, and they came out with a catching system where you had to like throw the ball, which is neat, but I miss fucking battling Pokemon in the wild. I fucking miss that shit, dude. And also, not to mention, the motion controls in actually throwing the Pokeball when you have it on, like, the TV screen are fucking horrendous. I could not catch a single Pokemon with it, so I was just playing in handheld mode, which sucks, because actually, no, take that back. I fucking hate playing on the TV screen. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because then you have to use the fucking one Joy-Con. It's not even like a side con. It's a one Joy-Con vertically that you have to use. Okay, weird flex, but sure. I'm getting so derailed. I have so much shit to say. All right, catching. So it looked from the trailers. Catching is back to normal, baby. Let's go. I am so fucking happy I get to fight wild Pokemon again, because for a console starter, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did not leave a good impression on me. I liked the catching, but I just found it kind of boring, honestly. And if I wanted to catch like that, I'd just play Pokemon Go. Because everything now is based on Pokemon Go. So yeah, that's great. And maybe Sword and Shield will kind of break that mold, hopefully. One of the things I do like about Pokemon Sword and Shield as well is that even though I feel like they took away the ability for you to walk around your Pokemon, because I haven't seen it at all in the promotional videos or anything, and it was all over the place with Pikachu and Eevee, so I feel like they would have announced it or advertised it or whatever if you could walk around with your Pokemon. I do like how the Pokemon still walk around in the wild, though. I do quite like that. One of the things though is that I loved like encountering wild Pokemon without actually knowing what they were. But it's also a double-edged sword, because now I know which Pokemon I still need in my decks that I can actually like get. Uh, so if I was like somehow missing Rattata, whatever you want to fucking say, if you're depends on if you're a liberalist or a consumer. Uh, God, already fucking bringing in political jokes. Um, uh, l- sorry, liberalist. What the fuck? See, this is why I write scripts. Anyway, oh dear lord. If I was missing a Rattata, Eevee and Pikachu, I could like go around the wild area and see a Rattata and just go up to it. In the wild area, you would have to grind it. I remember there was while playing X and Y, I wanted to fill out my decks, and the fucking Absol in the little place before you get to like the beachy town. I can't remember what it's called. Um, Absol was so fucking hard to get, and I would like use uh uh what's it called? False swipe. Ugh, how did I fucking forget false swipe? I would use false swipe from my Farfetch to get him down to 1 HP. But he has a move where he gets recoil and gets damaged in the process. So basically he kills himself, and he's so hard to find naturally, and Great Balls were just not fucking work on him, because apparently Absol only like gets caught with Safari Balls, so that's great. But so yeah, it's kind of nice, but I also love that because I love the satisfaction I got when I finally fucking caught that asshole Absol. I literally call him Abs Hole. Aren't I so fucking clever? Anyway, uh, so that. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes as I go, so I read his animations right. EXP share. That's an interesting one to talk about. I'm okay with them taking away EXP share optionally. Now, here's the thing. I don't know why they didn't make it optional. Like, what the fuck? Because I know, like, here's something, actually. Pikachu and Eevee, like, they also basically removed the EXP share from being optional. I think. Unless I, like, missed an option for it. But it definitely didn't come as an item. That's for sure. So, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just haven't seen a lot about it. But I feel like in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there actually wasn't that much of a fuss about EXP share basically being removed optionally. So why is it coming now? Why is it everywhere? Why was it on the news? Like it was on Because I was just like researching video game shit for whatever reason. I was just like looking into Remnant Remnant Ashes, whatever, and Control. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at Control, and on the same, and while I was looking at Control and reading through the article, I scrolled down and I saw something Pokemon related. I'm like, cool, Pokemon, and it's like EXP share is gone. I'm like, okay, and that surprises me. How? I kind of saw this coming. I'm not gonna lie, with Pikachu and Eevee already basically taking it away. Why is there so much of a fuss of it now? Again, I wish it was optional. Even though I'm not really affected by it, I wish it was optional because it adds that little bit of grinding challenge, which I know a lot of people love Pokemon for. And I know I love it for sometimes. Although sometimes I just want to play a Pokemon game and just turn EXP share on. That's just the kind of guy I am. But I get why a lot of people want it optional. I want it optional. Again, doesn't affect me, but I want it optional. So why isn't it optional? Like, what's the point? Why wasn't Pikachu and Eevee's optional? Actually, I know exactly why. Because of catching Pokemon, because you can't battle them anymore. They have to be caught, like the Pokemon go away, and you can't like bring out any Pokemon from your party. So they had to have EXP shares so that all the Pokemon in your party get some amount of XP because none of them actually come out. Because you know how the most amount of XP, the max amount of XP comes out to a Pokemon when you release them during a battle, right? And that's how a lot of people actually grind. They just like release all the Pokemon in their party to like level them up, and then they win the battle. EXP share, I don't really have that much to say about. It's just, why is it an optional, Game Freak? Like, what's going on? What's the issue there? I just don't get it. All alternate forms of Pokemon. Okay, so this is like Alolan forms and Galarian Pokemon. I again, another double-edged sword. I like and dislike it. By the way, Galarian Bonito looked fucking amazing. Look, I like Scorbunny, even though a lot of people like Sobble, like my fucking Pokemon Direct video. And I like Galarian Bonito, even though everyone is going for fucking Surfetched. That's just the kind of guy I am. I'm just a fucking rebel, dude. I'm basically Mirror's Edge. Anyway, so alternate forms of Pokemon, this is Alolan forms and Galarian forms, and I like it because they look cool. It's like giving them a new kind of aspect to Pokemon, which is kind of funny. Marie Pulu. So like, by the way, why isn't Galarian Ponyta a fucking fairy type? She looks so much like a fairy type. She's a psychic type, I think. Why isn't she a fairy type? I'm getting a track. In Galarian Weezing looks amazing. Doug Dimmadome. Off track. Okay, I'm just ranting everywhere. They're good, but like I feel like you could just make new Pokemon. And for like one of the like greater Pokemon, like the more famous ones, it would be awesome to have. Imagine like a new form for Eevee, right? Imagine a new form for her, and it has like different evolutions. That would be insane. Even if it's like 3 alternate evolutions from that one type of Eevee, that's still fucking amazing. Or if it's like one exclusive evolution for just that kind of Eevee, even though that would kind of suck. I feel like a lot of people would be like, why don't they have more evolutions? That kind of thing. Yeah. And Alolan and Galarian forms are cool. I feel like you could make those alternate forms for the more popular Pokemon though, like Ponyta. But also make new Pokemon as well. Like what's that guy? The seagull Pokemon that they're coming out with. I don't know. Things like that. Game Freak, just make new Pokemon. Don't really worry about making new alt forms of Pokemon. Just make new Pokemon. And if you run out of ideas, just fucking pick something. Here's a fucking like small notebook I just picked up. Make a Pokemon out of a notebook. I'm pretty sure that's already a thing. I have no idea. Or like a book. Or a fucking water bottle. I would love a water bottle Pokemon. I would love to see like, what if like a Pokemon game was like set in Australia, in Australia. If it was set in Australia, then you could have Pokemon that are like kangaroos, which I don't even know if that's even a thing. I don't think it is. You could have kangaroo Pokemon, and that would be amazing, right? And to make alt forms for like things like Ekans alt forms, that would be amazing. I would love an Ekans because Ekans is so popular. Uh, I think I should start wrapping this up. To be perfectly honest, I kind of just want to talk about Game Freak in general. Just what are you doing, man? You've been working on. Are you burned out? Are you burned out of Pokemon games? Legitimately asking. Because I have a feeling you are. Because you've been doing these games for ages. You literally have the most successful franchise in your back pocket, and you're just being lazy with it. You're not innovating anything new on it. Why? Why aren't you? You know, it's just insane. You can basically make any game you want with this. Like you have the funding, you have the back of the community. Everyone's gonna look out for you, Game Freak, but you have to step it up. You gotta give us effort. You gotta give us something. Come on. Oh, and one more thing. Fuck, like having the anime and the games come out at the same time. Fuck that. I'm sorry, but fuck that. That is so dumb. And that's probably why Pokemon games are coming out every year, too. It's because they have to coincide with the anime, so it has to basically come out this Christmas. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in there, and I don't think we'll ever know either. But it's insane. I don't think Game Freak is putting in the effort. I don't think Game Freak is trying, or at least if they're trying, not very well. And I think at this point, if Game Freak doesn't step up their game, Pokemon Company, look into hiring Rockstar. or just any kind of company, like maybe Double Fine Studios, Obsidian. I bet they would love to make RPG games. And they just come out with Outer Worlds, so their name is on the press right now. And that's a whole other bag of worms with the fucking Fallout 76 trying to fucking cloud the Outer Worlds. Yeah, I watched Luke Stevens. I don't know, Game Freak. Just eventually, if you don't get the back end of the community, if you're just gonna keep doing these shitty mistakes and not putting in the effort, I have a feeling you're just gonna lose. You're just gonna lose the best franchise, your best moneymaker out there. And I have a feeling they're burned out because like there's games like The Town. I feel like that's what it's called. I don't remember. There's games like The Town which look fucking beautiful and are actually pretty good games. A pretty good game. A pretty good game. It's actually a pretty good game. And it's already come out too. So where's the love for Pokemon? Because Pokemon doesn't look as good. I mean, Pokemon looks beautiful. Don't be wrong. Sword Shield looks amazing. And despite that tree, but I don't really give a shit. Besides, the graphics aren't everything, right? It still looks beautiful to me. But The Town just looks better. Like, in every way. It just looks better. So what's going on? Are you burned out? Are you saying, I don't really want to work on Pokemon games anymore? I'm gonna do my own thing? I mean, that's totally fine, but then you gotta be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Hand it over to another company. See if they can do any better. And we'd actually be satisfied with that. We'd say, because Game Freak, we've been shitting on you for years. For years. And you've done nothing about it. You just kind of took all the hits. Eventually, you gotta sit down and think, I'm not cut out for this. Or, say, I am actually cut out for this, and I'm gonna fucking step up my game, and I'm gonna prove all the fuckwits wrong, and make the best fucking Pokemon game ever. And I feel like you tried to do it with Sword and Shield, but then ultimately failed. Because then you just did the Game Freak thing, and limited everything, and not had enough shit and didn't go through with your promises and didn't have a lot to give. And I can kind of understand because Pokemon doesn't have a lot to give. Pokemon is just Pokemon. It's just you battling Pokemon. It's just you catching Pokemon. And I kind of get why you might be stumped at what you want to do, but I don't understand why you're still stumped so much that you can't fucking work with it. You can't make something better. You can't make something good for the community. Do it for the community. I don't know. I'm mostly just talking out of my ass. Um, and Game Freak, you're still okay. You're game developers, and I know that you have a shit ton to worry about. But either go big or go home. That's all I have to say.